today, well, I think he's arguably the most consistent player on the tour. So everything points to the man from down under coming out on top. But it's best of 7 frames, and you have to respect Fan because, Stephen Hendry, he is a world ranking titleist.
Yeah, I think Neil Robertson, a very strong favourite today. But the only thing is, when you're going into a little bit of the unknown against an opponent, it can sometimes just knock you a little bit out of your comfort zone. I'm sure Neil doesn't really know what to expect from Zhengyi today. But if he imposes himself quickly on this match, Neil Robertson, I think it'll be over pretty quickly. But that's easier said than done sometimes.
Only one previous meeting, as discussed. Robertson won 4-2 in the Northern Ireland Open earlier this season. But Fan showed his capabilities with breaks of 102 and 91. So there'll be no complacency from Robertson.
And myself, I've never seen this young man play, so it's the unknown for me as well today. Incredible achievement to win that ranking tournament, beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final.
Yes, the European Masters in late February was astonishing, astounding. 396 world ranking events in history, and for me, considering what he's done before that and what he's done since, he's the most surprising winner of a ranking event ever.
Come on.
That was a very nice pot. And nice position on the blue, can play off the top cushion for the red. It's closest to the black, to the left corner. It's a little bit hard. There's another one above the black. So, as I always say, when Neil Robertson is a very heavy favourite for this match, but the last thing he wants to see is his inexperienced opponent get comfortable quickly. And this is just the way that Zhengyi can get comfortable. Nice position around the black spot.
7.
Might be disappointed with that positional shot. He's finished
14.
Not only low on the red, but it's hampered by the one near his bridge hand, you can see. So this is not guaranteed position here. Yeah, did well. Did very well. The fact that he has won a ranking title, this one table situation, won't be phasing him, I don't think. Again, nice little shot there. Little dab of right hand side just to take the cue ball towards the left hand side of the table to be on this red to left corner. Could have done with another inch or two to be absolutely perfect, but already you'd have to say looks composed out there. Doesn't look nervous at all to me.
23.
Yes, very perceptive, and that was the key to his victory in the European Masters. As he went through the tournament into uncharted territory, he looked completely at home, as though he'd been there on many previous occasions.
Well, it's one of the biggest attributes, if not the biggest, of any sport, is to be able to play your best and be comfortable in the most pressurized situations. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're going to choke when you're in the big arena, all that talent counts for nothing.
always just a little wide.
Zhengyi, 30.
Yeah, I don't agree with the way he played it, just rolling it in. I think if he'd been a bit more positive, played a kind of a stun run through, or even stunned the cue ball, left a high black, the pot would have been easier. Playing those shots for the rest slowly, very easy to get unwanted side in the cue ball. I think Robertson could go directly into the bunch here. Yep. Very aggressive and very unlucky. He took a risk because it was easy to be... It was very easy to leave himself a nice angle in the black to go into the pack from the black. He chose to be very aggressive, and it's not paid off. Yeah, there was almost a tinge of arrogance about that shot, actually, because he didn't need to play that shot. Okay, as I say, he's unlucky, but it was almost like he's wanting to stamp his authority on the match just by that one shot, just by showing his opponent how aggressive he can be. Good hit in the green though.
And now the Reds have been split inadvertently. What an opportunity for Robertson.
Yeah, don't disagree, I should say, with a shot choice from Fan Zhengyi there, but if you're going to take that shot on, I'm afraid at this level, you've got to get it. And what a gift for his opponent to get into this match. It's a sort of situation, you know, when he was winning all those titles last season, you could assume now the frame was over. He was just so good when he got in.
Conditions were a delight yesterday. All of the players said so.
6.
And if it remains the case that they're playing nicely again today, he will relish it. Consummate break builder.
Not quite settled yet, Neil Robertson, in this first frame. He's not got to control that cue ball at all. Played for the brown there. Overran it by quite a way, and I'm not sure what kind of angle he's got in the green, if any. He's got plenty of cue power. He's going to need it. Deep screw, left-hand side. Oh, missed the yellow. I'd be fuming that he's passed up this chance to score heavily.
10.
Huge let-off for Zhengyi.
And the positional misjudgment following a pattern, because yesterday in both of the afternoon matches, when players weren't used to the speed of the table, if you saw an early positional mistake, it was when the cue ball was overcooked.
New Robertson, 10.
This time, after that shot to nothing, it's Fan's turn to be a little unlucky. Cue ball finishing on that ball cushion.
Zhengyi, 1.
Not there yet, Stephen, is he? Robertson.
No, as I said at the start of the frame, sometimes it can put you just, as I say, out of that comfort zone when you're playing someone you don't really know what to expect. It's a best of 7. It's a short match. And he's already let a couple of chances slip, Neil Robertson. So,
1.
Yeah, he's the one that doesn't look as composed at the moment.
Eight. Nine.
Going back to that shot that Neil played when he had the red over the left corner and went directly into the bunch of reds. I don't think he would have played that if he was up against one of the other top players in the world. I think he would have played for the angle on the black to go into the reds from then. Might be wrong, but I have my doubts that he would have played it that way, and said he was unlucky, but he took a risk that he didn't have to.
16.
And let's just dissect
70.
what Fan Zhengyi did to win the European Masters. Yes, everyone concentrates on beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final. Made a couple of centuries and a 92 in the decider, so he held himself together really well. He also had some fine victories en route to the final. Overcame the likes of Kyron Wilson, Yan Bingtao, Dave Gilbert, and in the semi-finals, a former world champion, Graham Dott. On the big stage, he's not scared.
.3 points ahead. You can see the next red that he's going to need to secure the frame is not going to be easy. Getting position on a red is not going to be easy. May be able to possibly cannon the red and black here. A bit of check side maybe. No, he's playing for the red. The right cushion, and that was very well played. Not inch perfect, but only needs the red, so doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball. Make sure the pot.
With the other two reds awkward, the pressure was diluted there, but still a good effort to knock in frame ball like that. And now it's frame ball +1. And Neil Robertson needs 3 snookers.
33. Zhengyi, 33.
And Neil's still a very heavy favourite for this match, but I think if he'd have got in and won this frame in one visit, and he had a couple of chances to do so, may well have gone on and won the match 4-0, because it would have really put his inexperienced opponent under pressure. But as I said, he's let his opponent become comfortable out there. So now he's got a match in his hands now, Neil Robertson.
Here you might think, well, this frame can't be retrieved. It could. He's still in the one free ball zone, so one snooker plus a free ball, and he could still escape. When Neil Robertson won his 2 Champion of Champions titles in 2015 and again in 2019, he started his campaigns in those years with 4-0 victories over Rory McLeod and Martin Gould. Highly unlikely this is going to be 4-0, and I think the first frame will act as a wake-up call for the Australian. Could possibly regret that. That would have put the frame to bed once and for all.
One.
Even though the frame's already, well, looks like already won. Zhengyi doesn't want to, missing reds like that. It just puts a little bit of negativity at the back of your mind going into the next frame. That's why we always say it's imperative to get the frame won when you're in the position to do so. Stop your opponent coming back to the table, because it can really knock you out your rhythm. He's probably going to have, he could theoretically have 10-15 minutes here until he wins this frame. Neil Robertson was obviously planning for the black to go back in his own spot, so he could lay the snooker.
Our referee is Desislava Boshilova from Bulgaria, who measured it out and clearly thought the black won't respot where it normally does. And that's made this shot much harder.
Robertson 8.
Intention there was to leave the red close to the green to raise the possibility of a free ball, which of course is vital for Robertson.
Yeah, clever shot. The brown looks to be in the way of the one cushion and the green's in the way of the two cushions, so this is dangerous. Could easily hit the pink here. Yeah, well played. Where's the cue ball going? Unlucky.
Wow. Robertson 4.
41 the difference. 2 snookers needed.
Yeah, the colours are not in the best positions, are they, for laying good snookers? Off the red. Yellow would look to be the most savage of targets if you're going to lay a good snooker. But as I said, all this is doing is sort of, you know, breaking the rhythm of Zhengyi.
Put your phones on silent, please.
Before the match began, Neil Fold was saying that Fan is noticeable for cueing under one eye. He's very left-eyed. That's the master eye. You get players on the other side, of course, right-eyed. There's that distinctive cue action, and again, he can't nail the frame. This is frustrating.
Very difficult, as I said, with all the colours in the middle of the table to lay good snookers. Neil's just got to be patient. Just at the very least, keep the red safe. But obtaining snookers is going to be very difficult. Now that does change things drastically. Look at that green and brown. What a target that is now to lay snookers. Here's the first.
Yes. He could be here for quite some time. Even if he escapes now, we might be back there in the near future.
obviously doesn't want to hit the pink here. And I think possibly he was a little bit scared of doing so, because that would have put Neil 35 behind. 35 on.
So Robertson needed 3 snookers at his lowest ebb. That's been reduced to 1.
Green and brown is going to be a magnet for that cue ball now. Whenever Neil Robertson plays his shots. This looks a good shot from Fan. Is there a gap? Well, he doesn't really want a gap because the red's going to be going towards the green and brown. He doesn't want to break those 2 balls up, because that's his route to winning this frame. Well, it's potable, this red. It's far more difficult than it looks on that view there that we've got. Yeah, that gives you more of an indication how tough this shot to the right middle is.
Might not have the reputation of a Selby or a Higgins when it comes to salvaging frames from nowhere, but he has won plenty of frames in his career, having required multiple snookers.
That was a risky way to play that shot. Neil Robertson, because the cue ball was always going to have momentum with that run inside on it. And I think he's left this red on. The fact that Neil only needs 1 snooker now. If he does get left a pot on, he may choose to pot a red in the colour. Obviously the yellow's in a tricky position, but if he could pot the yellow, obviously get behind the green, he can lay a really good snooker behind brown. Frame approaching the half-hour mark. It should have been over at least 10 minutes ago.
Robertson is beginning to believe he can snatch this.
Yeah, the green and brown, you can see they're more in a straight line, so they're not as big a target as they were a few shots ago. But yeah, he'll be feeling he can win this frame now, only needing 1 snooker. Just got to not leave a pot on, basically, on the red. choose to try and take the yellow out here.
Now that changes the dynamic. Robertson's been in control of the table for quite some time now, but he's lost control. The red sits up. This is the chance to put this to bed. A sense of relief now for Fan. Robertson delayed, but he didn't defeat.
Zhengyi 7 and the frame.
He stays and he's chaired as the red-hot favourite to win this match. As for Fan Zhengyi, well, he won the European Masters last season. He turned professional in 2018 after winning the World Under-21 Championship in Beijing. That was 14 years after this man, Neil Robertson, won the same tournament, the World Under-21, in New Zealand. So they all linked together. Just to put into perspective what a surprise it was when he won the European Masters. In his entire career, Fan has won that tournament. He got to the quarterfinals of the German Masters. And he's been to one other last 32 of a world ranking event.
Zhengyi to break.
Very neat and tidy break off. Only one red has come apart from the main bunch. This red is potable to left corner. But he's just found himself a little bit on the back foot. Neil Robertson, I know it's only 1-0, but best of 7 is a pretty short sprint.
Yes, we've become used to best of 7s in recent years, but when you were the king of the 90s, Stephen, it was all at least best of 9s, played 4, have an interval.
Yeah, as we've seen last night with that magnificent match between Mark Selby and John Higgins. The reward for winning these 2 best of 7s this afternoon is a best of 11, a proper match. Final, we were of the group, but you've got to get there first.
1.
A little bit disappointed in that shot choice, I have to say. Okay, the blue to the green pocket is not an easy shot, but someone at the age of 21, you think you'd be more aggressive in your shot choice. Wrong time, just at 1-0 to try and protect a lead.
Someone sitting on my right-hand side actually was world champion at the age of 21. The youngest ever.
Poor shot from Zhengyi, but not done any damage, I don't think, in terms of leaving any pots on for his opponent. And Robertson will be disappointed with that shot. Again, not left a pot on, but a good opportunity to get that cue ball on the baulk cushion behind the green and brown. He's not dominating this match in the way I think most people would expect. I'm sure the first red of the two on the left of the table goes to the left corner. It does. He may have a path to get the cue ball back up to the baulk end. And yeah, that's what he's known for. That's his big strength. Absolutely phenomenal long potter.
Through his 20s, his 30s, now into his 40s, Robertson retains that wonderful asset. And of course, as the years have gone on, he's become a more potent break builder. You put those two things together, and that is formidable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's all the century breaks that he makes. A huge percentage of them are made by creating opportunities with those long pots.
3.
It's such a massive weapon to have in snooker.
4.
Got an insatiable appetite for making century breaks. This sort of situation, he's not happy until he's just potted every ball on the table. But at the moment, the most important thing is getting this frame one and getting back on level terms. I say, stamping his authority on this match.
11. 12. 19. 20. 27.
You can see the 5 reds below the pink. None of them are available. So Neil will already be hatching a plan in his mind in 2 or 3 shots time to be able to bring those 5 reds into play.
20.
He won't be going anywhere near the 2 reds and the black cushion at this point. That's what break building's all about. Well, saying that, he has chosen to play for this red, which surprises me a little bit.
35.
Yeah,
36.
no problem. Now he's having a look at the bunch. Nice angle in the black to be able to screw into the 2 reds directly above the black. Played it nicely.
43.
I think the 4 reds below the pink are still not available. Already with a 43-point lead in this frame.
He's been comparatively inactive this season. 2 individual tournaments he's played in, which have yielded 10 centuries. 5 in Hong Kong, 5 in Northern Ireland. His strike rate is phenomenal. And Stephen's absolutely correct. I don't think any player puts
51.
greater importance and self-pride on scoring as much as him.
Yeah, it just shows you the confidence he's got in himself to get enough results, to get into the big events and still not playing everything. As Neil Foulds was saying at the top of the show, you know, he does need ranking points to be able to secure places in the Grand Prix and the Players and the Tour Championship. So to take that time off and still have the confidence that you're going to still get results is incredible, really.
Yes, he's number 2 officially in the world rankings at the moment, but he loses 200,000 points before the UK Championship, so he'll start the next world ranking event down at 4 on the very latest provisional
59.
standings. But he knows he can bank a boatload of points.
Yeah, it's getting very interesting, isn't it? The top of the rankings, I think. Judd's had the chance already to get to number 1, I think. He'll possibly, if he won the UK, you can correct me, Phil, he may go near to number 1, depending on other results. So it's very congested at the top, which obviously makes it better for us watching the game, makes it more interesting.
This has been interesting. Robertson's response to that scrappy first frame, in which he was a little sloppy, I thought, at times. Nothing sloppy about this.
$74.
Yeah, this is what he does. He just comes to the table, pots a long ball, and then clears up and wins the frame. That's his job, and he does it very, very well. Interesting to see. We'll keep an eye on it if he does break down,
82.
how annoyed he is with himself when he goes back to his chair.
$83.
Just a little flick on the left side red here, leave the other one to the right corner. Beautifully played. And now the central is imminent.
90. 91. $96. 97.
A justified round of applause. Career century number
102.
859 with plenty more to come.
104. 107. 111.
Okay, no pressure, but pots on green and brown, terrific.
116. 122.
'The Century Machine from Melbourne, Australia, whirs into life. No big breaks to speak of. The second, that was one decisively.
Thank you. The third frame, new Robertson to break.
Robertson powering in the red from distance, going on to make a 122 break, and that's why he gets things underway in the third, looking to win this and hit the front. Now, Stephen, is that red a little more tricky than it might first appear?
Yeah, looking at the time that Neil's taken, looking at it, it obviously is. I don't know why they can possibly play for the black off this red. Yeah.
1.
Okay, just 3 or 4 inches shorter than he would have liked. Quite high on this black. It's one a good look to see if that red that's just sticking out is available to the left corner. Because if not, he's going to have to go into the bunch from this black, and that makes the pot so much more difficult. Love a little shot there, play with a lot of drag. Left hand side.
8.
Yeah, nicely on the red. May be able to bring more reds into play in playing this. Back up for the blue. Well, he obviously was a bit too straight. Didn't feel he could bring reds into play. And he's now faced with that same black that he just could have played a minute ago. He's going to go into the bunch, so touch of right hand side this time. Oh, don't take your eye off the pot. He's been lucky. He's not left the pot on.
9.
Stephen, lots of ways to go into the bunch off the black, but that's the most problematic.
Yes, it's the more difficult shot, there's no doubt about it, than from a low black. I actually quite liked leaving a high black into the bunch because I felt you could control the cue ball when it hits the bunch a lot, when it hits the pack a lot better.
Of course, when you went into the bunch and didn't drop on anything, you gave the old thumbs up. That was the trademark, wasn't it? Sarcastically.
Big frame this for Zhengyi. So, I mean, every frame is big, but you would assume that if Neil Robertson does hit the front, he'll just go away and win this match comfortably. So, fans got to stay with Neil in this frame, compete in the safety department and the potting. And little rubs of the ball like that will help a lot.
We can see there that the green is obscuring his path. That's why he asked Desislava Boshilova, the referee, have you seen this? Because he knows there's a possibility the cue ball could be replaced.
Very well played. The red to the left of the pink is available to left middle, but I don't think Zhengyi will be of any interest in that. This is very careless. Very, very careless.
Oh, New Robertson, 4.
Cue ball. It shouldn't have been going anywhere near that pocket.
One.
At professional level, this you just can't afford to do, especially against someone like Robertson, who is such a powerful scorer and can punish ridiculously heavily.
Seven. Robertson, 7.
Now, we saw it yesterday with Mark Selby catch that far jaw. They will not go in. En route, it looked as though he might be okay. But the pink was repelled. The pot success rate of Fan Zhengyi is dipping alarmingly. 79%. That will not get the job done. But Stephen, it's catching.
Yeah, I didn't expect Neil to miss that. Yeah, go back to that first frame. Fan Zhengyi, you could have won it a lot more easy and had to wait 15 or so minutes to win it, and it seemed to upset his rhythm, and he's not got it back. He's not looked as composed as he was in the beginning of that first frame. This pot would have given a lot of confidence though if he was to knock this in. Yeah, that was a real cueing shot, that, wasn't it? Absolutely struck it beautifully. He'd love to get an angle on the pink. If you can get the cue ball kind of past where the green is, that side of the table, you pot the pink and stun the cue ball directly into the bunch of reds. There is reds available, doesn't have to play into them, but it'd be such an easy shot.
7.
He's got the same sort of shot, possibly off yellow or green. Big target, the reds. Okay, he's played it quite nicely, that shot.
9.
Again, just a little bit conservative in his shot choice, I would say. That would be a good shot if the black was on its spot, and you can see the black isn't, so that's why I thought he may choose to go into the reds.
10. $16.
Applause for the cue power, but I think a few early decisions have made his life difficult now.
Oh, he struck that beautifully.
9.
Is he on the red that he played for? The fact that he's not down playing it straight away would tell me that he's not. And yeah, this visit to the table could have been a lot easier if his shot choices at the start were a bit more aggressive. This doesn't look on, this red. No, it's playing safe. So,
Zhengyi, 19.
some nice pots and some nice cueing in that little visit, but it should have been a lot more.
Terrific pot, that really was.
Yeah, especially when you consider if he'd missed it, the red probably would have stayed over the pocket. He's not going to be scoring any more at this visit, though. No point really in potting the black, I would say. He is going to take the 7 points, it looks like. Again, probably could have played a more telling safety shot directly off the colour, of a bulk colour, than playing that black there. A little bit of a almost amateurish shot choice there. Trying to steal 7 points.
Zhengyi, 8.
Another safety mistake, a gross safety mistake from Neil Robertson, akin to the first frame. Percentage-wise in safety success, Robertson lagging behind.
One.
I think the red to the left of the 5 goes to the right corner. He's just got enough angle on the blue to be able to drop off the left cushion for that red. And you can see the red clearly goes, possibly the one next to it as well. Good chance this to win the 3rd frame. Go ahead again in this match.
6. Seven.
Not the cleanest pot, hence the cue ball is not where he wanted it to be.
40. Zhengyi, 14.
Well, he missed that red by so far. I have my doubts whether it even was available.
With Fan having missed that red in such a danger zone, he could have left an easier opener than this. Robertson's done well.
Yeah, one good shot here. You think the frame's there for the taking. Oh dear. Neil Robertson, that is a shocker. It really is. What a gift for Fan Zhengyi.
Right at the start of the match, I described Neil Robertson as one of the most consistent players, if not the most consistent player, on tour. He's not been consistent today. One very good frame, two sketchy ones.
6.
Yeah, from sublime to the ridiculous, hasn't it been, really? You just can't explain that missing the brown. All
7.
I can think of that he was just concentrating on the cue ball. It wasn't pressure, it wasn't a twitch as we call it. Just completely taking your eye off the pot. Taking the pot for granted. And then you wouldn't say Fan has deserved to win this frame through amazing play. But he's just
14.
made less mistakes.
We saw there on the pinkies a very pronounced
22.
left-eyed sighter. Some fine players over the years have been that. The likes of 1974 World Championship runner-up and Pot Black winner Graham Miles. And the only undefeated
29.
world champion in snooker history, Joe Davis. So he's in good company.
Robertson
made errors in the end. Fan Zhengyi accepted his most recent gift, and he's back in front at 2-1.